Science is a systematic study of nature and surrounding. So whatever things are happening around you, when we study them systematically, that is science. So for science, you need to observe your nature, you need to observe your surrounding. Whenever things happen in your surrounding, you make small stories, hypotheses, that how these things are happening. Whenever some accident took place, you narrate a story to your father that this is how these things have happened. So I will show you some experiment, and I want you to make your hypothesis why it is happening. You know, when Thomas Alva Edison was a kid, he bought some eggs and sat on them. He said, when hen hatched the eggs, the chicken comes out. If I will say it, chicken will also come out. He was curious to know why this happens. That type of curiosity should be there in all of you. I expect that all of you should think why it is happening. I will explain to you why these things are happening, but I want similar type of curiosity among all of you, and if you are able to give me the answer, I will be very happy. Okay, so we'll start with one simple demonstration. I have a ball with me. I am keeping this ball here, and see what happens when I kick this card out. The ball goes into, anybody in the audience would like to try this? Please come. Yes. You have to hit it fast. Very good, he can do it. So just now you saw that the ball fell straight into the tumbler. Why? Gravitation. Yes, gravity is acting, so it is pulling the ball down, but it falls straight into the tumbler. It didn't went here or there. Inertia, very good answer. Please clap for him. This is the answer I was looking for. Actually, Newton's first law of inertia says the body at rest wants to remain in the position of rest, and body in the motion wants to remain in the position of motions. So the ball was at rest. When I disturbed the assembly below the ball, it fell down and the ball fell straight into the tumbler. Now I have another experiment with me. I have one rod with me. Anybody in the audience would like to help me? Yes, you girl. What you have to do is, you have to hold this rod like this on your both palms. And you have to move both your palms inward. Can you do it? Okay. Now just face there. Start moving your hand inward and see, she is able to find out the center of the rod. Isn't it? Will you do it again? Just do it again. She can start from any position, but you will see that ultimately she ends up at the center of the rod. But will this happen every time? But not with me. See what happens when I do it. Is it the center of rod? What happened? One-handed move. Okay, since we have very less time, actually this rod has a weight inside. You can hear its voice. Can you hear the voice? So, when this weight is in the center, when I move both the hands, my hands rest at the center. But when this weight is at the side, now this weight is at this side, this end. So when I move my both hands, I ends up, the center of gravity of this rod changes, and both my hands rest in this position. So science can make lot of difference. So you must know science. Okay, I have a bottle of water with me. Can anybody balance this bottle of water on finger? We will count up to 20. Can anybody in the audience can do it? Yes. And we will start counting up to 20. Okay. So should we start counting? Okay, start. One, you have to leave this hand. Only you have to balance on your finger. One, two, very difficult to balance. But if I use this, I can balance it for 1 minute. Would you like to see? Okay, I will show you. Please start the counting. So you see that using this stick, I can balance for any longer duration. But if you wanted to balance this bottle straight away on your finger, it is very difficult even for me. Why? What is the science involved here? Yes. Center of gravity. What happens? Center of gravity is there, and in that case also center of gravity is there. So what is the difference? Do you think that this ball loses center of gravity when we raise this height?
It's just center of gravity is different.
Oh, its center of gravity is different. Yes, there is a difference. The difference is between its the location of center of gravity from my finger. Now, since the center of gravity of the bottle is very close to my finger, I have to apply force for balancing it. Since the distance is very small, I am unable to supply force to balance it. But when I use this rod, the distance becomes long enough. As the distance becomes long enough, I am able to supply the force needed to balance it easily. That is why it is easier for me to balance this bottle right now. Okay, I can balance even a chair on my finger. I would try to balance it. You have to keep the center of gravity right above your finger, and you can see that you can balance even chair. You will start counting for the 20, up to 20 again. Let's see whether I am able to do it or not. Okay, start counting. You know, we balance ourselves till our center of gravity is between the area of our feet. When it goes beyond that, you fall down. This is aluminum pipe and this is magnet. Does magnet attract aluminum? Does it attract? No. I need one more volunteer. You, do you know how to catch? Okay, come. Can you catch it? Good, you know how to catch it. Okay, now I will fall it through this tube and you have to start counting again. Should you start? It has become lazier due to friction. But yes, very good answer this gentleman has given. It is because of eddy currents. When the magnet falls through this tube, this magnet falling generates electric current in this tube which acts as a coil, and that electric current opposes the fall of this magnet, and that is why it falls slowly. Very good answer, sir. Please sit down. Now I need gentlemen like you, please come on. Can you stand on this platform, sir? I will help you. Put your both feet in the circular disc only. Okay. Now I am giving him one wheel and we are going to rotate this wheel. Sir, you have to hold this wheel like this and you have to move it like this. And mind it, you need not to move. Only you have to move this wheel like this and this. and your foot should not come out of this circular disc. Can you do it? Okay, let's see whether this gentleman can do it or not. Just turn it, tilt it like this. Why you yourself start moving? Take it up to 90 degree. Can you do it in another direction? Reverse the direction and reverse his, kindly notice his spin. As he changes the direction of the wheel, he himself starts rotating in another direction. Now tilt it again. So you notice that as soon as he starts giving it a different direction turn, he himself start spinning. Why it happens? Do you know the answer? Because of weight. Air. Because of air. Do you think that it has air to make you spin? Anybody else? Gyroscope. I don't think. Relative motions. Yes, relative motions is there. It has to do something with it. In fact, if you are in a satellite, and in satellite, you know, you are in a position where the gravitational pull is almost zero. There is no gravitational pull. Even if you want to tie up a nut, you will start spinning in opposite direction, because every action has equal and opposite reaction. When he was turning the wheel, reaction was there. Reaction was acting on his body. When he was turning the wheel, reaction was acting on his body. But when he is standing on the ground, because of gravitational pull, the reaction is absorbed and the reaction is not visible. But when he was standing on the rotating platform, the reaction is quite visible. He himself started rotating just to balance the torque which he has used for turning the direction of wheel. All of you have seen birds flying in the air. Have you seen birds flying in the air? And you have also seen aeroplane flying, helicopter flying. Why do they fly? Anybody? Because they have wings. So do you think that without wings, things can float in the air? So you must need a wings to float in the air. No, this is a wrong concept. I can show you something which floats in the air without wings. Can this bottle float in air? No. I will try to float it. Does this bottle have any wings? But still see, it floats in the air and follows my instruction. Let's see. Anybody in the audience would like to catch it? So just now you saw that this bottle was floating in the air, but it doesn't have any wings. So does this bulb. Now I will try to float. Now I will try to float this bulb. And you have also noticed that it follows wherever I go. This is all possible because of Bernoulli's principle. When the air is rushing around this bulb or the bottles, air is rushing around this bulb or bottle, the surrounding air is putting pressure. The surrounding air is pushing pressure and it holds the bulb at that point. And that is why you see, even if I am moving, this doesn't fall down and it remains along with the blower. I have a Tesla coil with me. This coil has a strong electromagnetic field around it. So strong that even if I bring this tube near it, see what happens. This tube start glowing without any electrical connection. Do you see any electrical connection there? But this tube is glowing without any electrical connection. It has so strong electromagnetic field around it that it ionizes the gas which is inside this tube. Well, I would like to invite one volunteer again here. Yes, anybody would like to come? I would like to invite this girl. Please come. Oh, you can come, but you have to put down your cap. Come on. Now I want to offer him a garland of light. Ah. Do you see anything? The tube is glowing. The tube starts glowing, but she doesn't like white necklace. So, should I give you another? Blue color is good. I have another tube with me. Can you give me that tube? Wow. Would you like to have this green necklace? No. You are tired, fed up. Okay, no problem. We have a green garland for somebody else. Anybody would like to have this garland? Or necklace? Yes, come on, very good. We have a very sweet girl here. Wow. Good, thank you very much.